What's going on, everybody? Today I'm going to be covering Graves into Gardens on electric guitar, and today I'll be playing through my Line 6 Helix patch that I created, available for download, and I'm going to be using all the rhythm snapshots, and I have some lead snapshots as well to help cover every part that's in the song. So I'm going to jump into the tutorial now. So I'm going to jump to that main part, which I think is the most fun to play. So that's that octave bend that you hear in the chorus, in the big choruses. It sounds like this. So I'm going to teach you how to play that. So that is first finger on the B string on the 4th fret, and then ring finger on the 6th fret G string. And what you are doing is you're leaving your first finger there, but you're bending up ever so slightly until you have that unity octave there. Or actually, it's not an octave, it's a unison. So what you're doing is you're striking and then you're bending ever so slightly until you hear the pitches match. So it sounds like this. Sounds like that. I'm going to mention this song is in B major, and it's in 6/8 time signature. So if you don't know what 6/8 is by now, after Reckless Love, 6/8 has 6 beats in one measure. So that bend comes in on beat 4. So it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. So that's where you place that bend in the chorus. The second cool thing I wanted to talk about before we dive into the rhythm sections, I noticed one of the guitar players using a slide on the music video of them playing it live. So I'm going to click on my slide snapshot on my Helix. So he plays the slide in the bridge where, here I'm going to play that section first. So the chord progression sounds like this. So those are the chord changes that are happening, and what the slide is doing, it's actually matching up with that up an octave. And he's just playing triads up there, so it's on the, let's see, 13, 14, 15, 16, 16th fret. And what you're doing is you're basically barring right on, if you've never played slide before, you play right on top of the fret. So it's on the 16th fret, right on top of this part, the metal part there. And what you're doing is you're just kind of resting your slide on top of the string. So that's the B major triad right there. So that's the first triad, and then the second triad is on the 21st fret. And that's mimicking the E major chord. So it sounds like this in time. So it sounds like that. This is like where everybody's like going hard. So it's try to be on pitch, but at the same time it's just everybody's going nuts there. So that triad again takes place on the D string, the G string, and the B string only. And I'm working both of my hands to kind of mute the other strings so they don't ring out on accident. And to help that, I actually don't use a pick, so I just kind of set my pick down, or you can kind of tuck it away. So I'm like resting my hand on there so these other lower strings don't ring out. All right, on to the rhythm part. So the rhythm player, he's actually capoed on the 6th fret, and he's playing in G shapes. So I'm going to jump to the beginning of the song now. This is the verses for the rhythm guitar player. And he's just strumming normally, but he's playing his G chord like this because we want to be able to get this sound. So the G chord is, I'm putting my ring finger on the low E string on the 3rd fret now, and I'm putting my pinky on the 3rd fret high E string, and I'm splitting the strings like that, and then I'm letting everything else ring open. The only thing is I'm resting my ring finger on the A string so that the A string doesn't ring out, so it sounds nice and clean. So the first chord is the G chord, it sounds like this. And then the second chord is actually, you're creating the sus is what I'm calling it. So you're adding your first finger to the 1st fret B string, and you're adding your middle finger to the 2nd fret D string. So it sounds like this. And leave your 2 fingers resting there on the strings with your original G chord. So that's kind of how I'm playing it, all downstrokes. So that's basically the main thing that you got to worry about when you're playing rhythm and you're capoed, because that's going to come back in the bridge. So that's probably the most important part, especially being the rhythm player. So the chorus, I'm on the chorus Snapshot, and that's just a little bit more overdrive. So that is my E minor, not the 7. I'm leaving my my B string open. So that's my first finger, 2nd fret, A string, middle finger, 2nd fret, D string, and then my pinky on the high E string on the 3rd fret, and I'm hitting all the strings open. And then I'm playing my C chord like this. It's the C2 chord. So I'm putting my pinky on the 3rd fret and my ring finger on the 3rd fret B string, and then I'm playing my middle finger on the A string, 3rd fret. So the chorus would sound like this. So those are basically all the chords. So the last chord I'm going to show you is the D chord. You could play it a couple different ways. So since you're in the key of G now, technically, I play my D chord sometimes like this. So I'm playing in the key of G. So my D string's open, and it's basically like a normal D chord, but I'm basically playing the sus, which is my pinky on the 3rd fret, ring finger on the 3rd fret B string, and then first finger on the 2nd fret G string, and I'm playing it open like this. And a lot of times I'll actually use my middle finger to actually mute this low E string because I don't want it to ring out at all. But it's great going back to the G chord because I'm right there already. So it sounds like this. Another way to play that is if you take your C chord and move it up 2 frets, is a great way to play your D chord. So this is a traditional C chord that you find on the internet. And then you're just moving that shape up. That's another way to play your D chord when you're capoed in the key of G. have the capo off, and I'm going to take you through some of the lead snapshots that I have on the Helix. I have a Swells snapshot, so here are some sounds that you can do. I'm playing now in B again. So maybe for the verses, if you're playing lead and the rhythm guitar player is handling the chords, you could play like in D shapes up here. So I'm playing the D shape, ring finger on the 12th fret, first finger on the 11th fret G string, and then middle finger on the 11th fret, and you can kind of do some swells there. I'm using my volume pedal. There's another shape you can use. Those are all shapes you can use in as a B chord there, which is your 1. And then you could do a swell as a sus there. You can add your pinky to, you could play your D chord and then add your pinky to the 12th fret E string. That would be your F sharp. So you're basically playing, this is a B5 chord, and what you could do is you can release your middle finger and bar this 11th fret here, and that's your F sharp. So those are some options for swells. You could also come down here, like I showed, barring for the slide. You can come down here to the 4th fret and bar here. And then you could also bar the 9th fret. Those are some swell options. The last thing I'm going to show you, if you are the rhythm player and you're not going to play the slide or you're not going to do the bends, I'm going to take you through some chords you can play down low. So this is my B chord. This is how I play it. And this is a B2 chord, so I'm barring everything except the low E string, and then I'm adding my ring finger and my pinky on the 4th fret. Then I'm using my middle finger to just kind of rest on that low E string, and it's just going to mute that for me. And then how I play my G sharp minor 7 is I'm going to play like this. So it's middle finger, 4th fret E string, and then I'm skipping the A string, and then my ring finger on the D string, and my pinky on the G string on the 4th fret. So 3 notes there, and I'm using my middle finger to kind of rest on the A string to mute it. Another thing you could do is you can add your first finger, if you want to, on the 2nd fret B string, and it sounds like this. So I'm going to show you those chords again. And then how I play my F sharp is I play kind of like an F sharp sus. Traditionally, you could bar it like this. But if I'm going to the F sharp from my G sharp minor 7, that sometimes adds a cool effect. So it goes like this. So I'm putting my first finger on the 2nd fret E string, and then I'm leaving my ring finger and my pinky in the same spot. And then if you want to resolve that sus, you pull off your pinky to the fret below, which is the 3rd fret, and your middle finger is on the G string. So it sounds like this. Then the last chord that I play, the last shape that I play in the key of B is my E chord. Traditionally, people would play it like this. but I actually like doing the E5, especially when I have distortion on my guitar. So what I'm doing is I'm barring the A string and the D string on the 2nd fret with my 1st finger, and then I'm letting the low E string ring out, and then I'm placing my pinky on the 4th fret G string, and then I'm raising my hand to let the high B and E string ring out. So it sounds like this. So for that bridge, when everybody's going nuts, if you're not playing the slide thing, you could play the chords as well, so it could sound like this. That is the tutorial for Graves into Gardens. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. And yeah, feel free, if you have a Helix or an HX Stomp, go to my website. I have the download available for that specific song. If this tutorial helped you, feel free to share it. Comment below if you liked it. If you have any questions, comment, let me know. And we'll see you in the next tutorial video.